I'm Rachel Muth.
And I'm Jo Ingleby, and we're from the Vegetarian Cookery School in Bath.
And we're going to teach you to make delicious vegetarian food from our cookery school. I'm going to show you how to cook black-eyed beans. These are the dried black-eyed beans, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak them in boiling water for about 15 minutes. Black-eyed beans cook very quickly, much quicker than, say, kidney beans or cannellini beans. And I'm going to soak them in boiling water, and then I'm going to cook them in clean water, and they don't take long, about half an hour, and that's the result at the end. They're ready to go now. Just taste them to make sure that they're nice and tender. Strain them and they're ready to eat. I'm going to use these black-eyed beans, the cooked ones, to make one of my favourite soups, and this is a black-eyed bean and sweet potato soup. And let me just show you the ingredients I've got. I've chopped the sweet potato, peeled it and chopped it. I've got red chilli, which I've chopped, garlic, red onion, some homemade stock, and herbs. The herbs I've got bay leaves, I've got sage, thyme, and rosemary. So what I've done first is I've fried my onion in olive oil, and to that I'm going to add my sweet potato. Before I add my sweet potato, I'm going to put the herbs in. So 2 bay leaves, 4 sage leaves, a nice big teaspoon of fresh thyme, and some rosemary. So I'm going to stir that up, and I'm just going to make it really flavoursome. So it'll just take a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm now going to add my sweet potato. That's peeled and chopped, and this is just one small sweet potato. I'm just going to stir that in well. And I'm also going to add my garlic. This is 1 clove of garlic chopped, and 1 chilli, 1 small chilli chopped. That's optional. If you don't like things hot, don't leave out the chilli. When you're making a soup, always stir it well and make sure that your sweet potato is well covered with oil and it's nice and warm before you add the stock. For this soup, I've made a homemade stock, and it's made very simply with onions, leeks, parsley, celery, carrots, boiled up, and it makes a lovely light coloured vegetable stock. If you haven't got your own stock at home, use a bouillon. So I've added all my stock, and that for this soup is about 650 ml of stock. I'm now going to have to leave this to cook until the sweet potato is cooked. This will take roughly 15 minutes at a simmer, and I'll probably pop a lid on it for that, because my black-eyed beans are already cooked, so they can go in at the last minute. The sweet potatoes are now cooked, so you just need to make sure that they're very tender, and that's perfect. Before I add the black-eyed beans, I'm going to take out my rosemary and my bay leaves and my sage leaves, because they've been in there for flavour, but we don't actually particularly want to munch through them. So they're out. Then I'm going to add my cooked black-eyed beans. Stir that in and just warm them through. That will take about 5 minutes to warm through if your beans are already cooked. This soup now needs to be seasoned. I've cooked it with the beans with no seasoning. It's always very important when you cook beans, if you boil them in water, always to cook them without any salt. If you add salt, it slows down the time it takes to cook. So never add salt when you're cooking beans. I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, and then I'm just going to taste it. That's lovely. Could do with a little tiny bit more salt and just some black pepper. So I've got a nice wide bowl. This bean soup is very nourishing, and it's what I'd call an autumn winter soup. So you need a nice big bowl of it. So there's our soup, ready to go, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley on it.